staying in contact with you?
As in regards to recruiting?
Yeah.
There's a few other. There's a lot of other schools, but Coach Morrow, me and him have known each other since 8th grade. So it was a little different. There was a little more of a stronger bond there. And he's just such a good person. If you've known him or if you met him, you'd say, wow, that's a good dude. I can understand why he's saying that. But when it came down to turning things around and making a better decision for me and my family, I went straight to him. I said, Coach, let's make this happen. And I'm so glad I did. I was blessed to be in the situation I am, and I'm so fortunate that I've got to build that relationship when I was 14 years old in 8th grade, because it's all paying off, and I'm glad to be here.
Talk about the goals of enrolling early, like you are.
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
It is, just the opportunity to enroll early is such a blessing. It's so great. But the goals, of course, the big one out there, I want to be the starting quarterback, of course. Any quarterback that comes in and doesn't want to be the number one guy shouldn't be playing the sport. So I'm always, shoot for the stars and land on the moon. It's kind of where I'm going with it. But I want to make the team better any way I can, however I can do that. So what I'm going to keep doing is keep being a great teammate, building those relationships, and working my butt off. And it's going well, and I can't wait for spring.
Does it keep you prepared that a quarterback that enrolled early last year ended up being the starting quarterback for most of the season, Steven Johnson?
Yeah. There's that aspect you can think about. And, it just shows, Drew went down, and Steven popped right in. It just shows how well Coach Henshaw prepares quarterbacks, and the best player is going to play. And I love Coach for that, and I'm super excited about it, and I just can't wait for spring.
Coach Henshaw's a big mechanics guy. Has he already given you pointers, stuff like that you need to work on moving forward?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Coach Henshaw was able to make it out to a game or two of mine this season, and there's little snippets here and there. He would say, make sure you're really bringing that back leg through, just little things. And I was like, yes, Coach, because I appreciate all the coach. Anytime someone's trying to coach me, make me better, I'm definitely going to listen. And Coach Henshaw is so, he doesn't overdo it, but he's so technical. When someone knows what they're talking about, you want to listen to him. He's such a great quarterback coach, and I'm excited to be working with him. Right now he's on the road recruiting, so all those quarterbacks are fighting and scratching, waiting for him to get back so we can start working and becoming better. So.
Was it your plan all along to be an early enrollee?
Oh, yes, sir. Yeah. At the previous school, we didn't really know if we were going to do it or not, just because spacing and quarterbacks. But after I made the decision to turn around, there was a bunch of other schools in the SEC that we were thinking, okay, yeah, if we go here, then yeah, we're going to early enroll. And then when, like I said, when we got back in contact with Coach Morrow, it was an easy decision.
Speaking of the other school, you have a tattoo of them, correct?
Yeah.
Have the other guys kind of said anything when they saw it around the locker room?
No, not really.
So it's not a big deal?
No, it's not a big deal. There's 3 other guys with schools on there, so it's not really a big deal.
How big is
though, forever?
What's that?
Are you saying you're keeping the tattoo forever though? Or any thoughts of removing it?
No, I don't have any thoughts of removing it. It's just if it becomes such a big deal for people, it can be covered up in an hour. So it's not really a big deal.
How big a name is Vince Marrow in Ohio?
Well, someone who's won National Recruiter of the Year 3 times running is a pretty big name anywhere. But in Ohio, being a Youngstown guy, he's a household name. And he's a great coach. You see what he did with C.J. Conrad this year. See what he did for himself, playing for all those years. But he's a great person, and when a player can relate to someone and knows they're not, out to try to trick them, sneak them in here, get them to sign, it means a lot, and you can have another level of trust and say, okay, this guy wants me as a person. This guy doesn't care about how fast a 40-yard dash I can run. He wants to make me a better person. So, from a recruit standpoint, it means a lot.
How comfortable are you with the read option in that aspect of this offense? Tuck it in and run it occasionally. I know there was a highlight of you in the championship game where it looked like you were.
Yeah, we in this offense we don't really have a read option. We don't ever run a read option. It's more of it's called an RPO. Where you have the opportunity. I have the opportunity to run it, pass it, or you know, just I'm not gonna say everything on here, but you know, there's never a time where it's just, you know, reading. Sometimes, you know, it's built into the offense. You know, it's not like the traditional, you know, say hike, if the DN's there, pull it. You know, it's not like that. We have multiple options for every single play. So every time you saw Steven tuck it, it wasn't just because the DN came up.
When Kentucky entered the picture, the season really started to turn around. What did that say to you during your recruiting process?
You know, it made it just a stronger force in the back of my head. Like, wow, you know, this is a good football team. We got a good. And then Coach Stoops took over. Man, defense was lights out. You know, they did great. So in the back of my head, I'm just like, you know, because honestly, I was focusing on my season. You know, trying to win another state championship for my school, and you know, I wanted to, when I started talking to Kentucky, and I said, if this is the right school, I want to make this happen soon because I want to focus on winning another state championship. And with just them winning, you know, it made it. It's like, man, you know, this is a school I need to be at.
How much does a quarterback think about the offensive line in front of him? Because this unit received a lot of praise this last season. There's a lot of guys coming back.
It definitely enhances the decision. You know, we got a lot of young guys coming back for another year. Even the guy who's not coming back, John Toth, man, mentored some great centers. We got some great centers coming up, and the guys who aren't leaving are young guys, and they're starting again. So whenever you got a young line that's got already a year of experience, they're only going to get better, you know. So you got to be decisive, and you got to be blessed and know that you're fortunate enough to have a young offensive line that's coming back.
What do you think of this wide receiver class? It looks like a pretty strong group, and obviously a couple other guys from Ohio and guys you're going to be throwing to.
Glasses, my class is coming in?
Yeah, coming in.
Yeah. We got some players, man, that's for sure. We got some players. I mean, not even including the people who are already here. You know, there's some big-time guys here right now. And these guys coming in are young, you know, studs. So a little time in the weight room, you know, there's really no limit to what we can do. You know, they're great kids, and I'm excited that they're coming here.